Welcome to day 4 of the I Need Some Self-Care Challenge. I am re-recording this, so those of you who know my technical issues will know that this is just part of the thing I'm learning. Anyway, I wanted you to know that if you had been on the recording of day 4, this is going to be a little different because I recorded it in my husband's computer to the cloud, and I can't find the cloud. So I'm recording it again. So we're going to start out with the subject today, and your challenge was about your relationship with food. So I wanted to know, first of all, I want you to really think about the food that you're choosing to eat and why you're choosing to eat it. And so that was today's assignment, wanting you to think about whether you're eating just to stop being hungry, or if you have a desire and a plan to eat for higher energy or a really buff body or to lose weight. And maybe you have a physical ailment that you've been eating to try to improve. Some people just eat for comfort, or they eat to hide. A lot of times when I used to go to a gathering where it was a mixer, I would go to the food table and I would just kind of sit there and eat and act like I was part of things to avoid talking to other people. And sometimes we just eat to make ourselves feel better. So just as you go through your day, pay attention to why you're picking up what you're picking up and putting in your mouth. Just think about it. It's not a time to really chastise yourself or anything. It's a time to get to understand what your goal in eating really is. Like, do you live to eat or do you eat to live? This is something you've heard all your life, probably. This is a private thing. I want you to be honest with yourselves. Also, it's meant for you to help you and not for you to beat yourself up. This is not something that you can feel. I don't want you coming into this knowing you're going to feel bad about it. So be kind to yourself and be glad you're taking an honest look at your food habits. So my goal today is to tell you not to tell you how and what you're supposed to eat. I really want you to just become conscious of your eating patterns and make choices that will benefit your health and your ability to have a better day. So I'm not coming in here to be your teacher. I do have some things I would like you to consider. I want you to consider what your motivation is for eating, and beyond hunger, why do you choose what you eat? And then I also want you to know that I have helped people for many years with their weight. Gosh, it's been over 40 years I've helped people with their weight. And so I'm going to share a few thoughts about that might help you understand what you're eating. I hope that one or more of these things will help you in your choices that you're going to be making daily. I'd just like to reinforce that there are 3 major health or categories of food that are considered major foods, and that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I will tell you over 50 years that I've been working with diet. My husband and I are really conscious of our diet. He more than I, but I end up cooking it, so I learn too. So in those years, I have learned and seen diets that say carbohydrates are most important and proteins are most important. And even now there are some that say fats are most important. So really, I think that what comes out from the deluge of information in the world varies greatly, and that each one of us varies greatly from one another. So I would not suggest that you go lock yourself in with some diet. Moderation, in my opinion, is probably the most important. But the consensus is really mixed, And it has changed over the years. It's been, I mean, everybody said the one thing, and then everybody says the other, and then everybody says the last. So it's not like there's somebody who says this and somebody who says that. Some of that's going on now because this has all gone over in the last 50 years, changing from one to the other. But my real thought is that it's a personal issue, and a balance is probably the best. So watch yourself. You cannot go by your cravings, because your cravings come from what you have been eating, not necessarily what is best for you. So test yourself. Cut back to clean food, which means less sauces in the dishes themselves, and also added to, such as ketchup and barbecue sauce and that kind of thing. So just cut back to clean food, and then add something else to it. Clean food to me is salad, fresh vegetables, meats. Pretty much that's it. You can have fruits whole, but not in desserts. Just cut back like that for a couple of weeks. It's good eating. Doesn't have to taste bad. But then you can add one thing, like perhaps grains. And I would do that one at a time. Your macaronis and all of the spaghettis and noodles and things like that are generally wheat. There are some made with rice. I would start with wheat after you've had a couple of weeks of clean food and see how it affects you. Many people today think they cannot eat wheat. And sometimes it's because our foods have been so filled with them, and they're not even filled with whole wheat. They're filled with portions of wheat. And so I think we're getting overwhelmed with this. This is just my personal opinion. But anyway, add one grain at a time. Give yourself a week with that in addition to your clean food, and see how it affects you. I would say to have wheat, you might want to just get whole wheat cereal, something like that, or add wheat that you've cooked and just have whole wheat berries, and see how that goes for your body. The actual whole wheat has all the three things in it: the protein, the carbs, and the oil. The white flour has just the carbs. So test yourself with everything. You know, if you've questioned a vegetable, if you've questioned, tomatoes are usually one of the first vegetables that give people a problem, or some people call it a fruit. But just test yourself with one new thing every week, and write down what's good for you, what works for you, what doesn't give you any problems. One problem that you would want to avoid is having gas. So see if a food brings gas into your system. And I would not introduce legumes and beans until you've done grains. And you may just want to limit yourself that first week or two to a couple of vegetables, and then increase your vegetable tests. This is just the same way we do a baby, you know, try to introduce new foods. So try that, and you'll see what's working for you. Okay, number 2, ask yourself whether sugar is your friend or your enemy. In those first 2 weeks, it would be good to eliminate sugar, unless it was just part of a fruit itself. Anyway, so you'll know some people already have diabetes, and that, you know, that's an enemy for you in that. Once you start eating whole foods like this, you will find that food tastes better, and you'll actually taste the real taste of the food. Going on to another idea, if you're trying to lose weight and you're over 35, you probably will not be able to do it with just exercise like you could when you were young. But if you're over 35 and you're trying to lose weight, diet will have to be a part of it. Just the same, turning it around, the diet alone will not do it. Diet will have to be accessorized with some exercise. And so both of them are good for you. And I was going to give you a couple of sites that give some good ideas on how to put your program together. One is called, and it's generic, it does not relate to any particular product line. It's called myfitnesspal.com. One of our friends just lost 40 pounds. 40 pounds, she's got 45 pounds she's lost. Got 30 more to go. Well, no pictures allowed yet, she said. But she's thrilled. It has taken time. It is not fast. Best to lose weight slowly. 2 pounds a week is max of fat that you can actually lose. You can lose some muscle by losing more weight and some water, but you can only lose 2 pounds of fat a week. So this program has meal plans for you. It also has exercise plans for you. Another one, I have another one that is aligned with the product line, and it's called What the Fit, and it gives you various exercises that you can do daily in different levels of difficulty. So you can choose from those workouts as well. So if you want those, you'll have to come back and how do we do this on Facebook? You have to message me at Kay Young on Facebook, or you can email me and I can show you how to get into that one. But myfitnesspal.com is open to everyone, and there's no charge and there's no product involved. Okay, so now going on, just a little tip that you probably already have figured out is when you decide what you think is the best way to start eating, then you'll want to eliminate other things from the house. Snack foods and any other foods that might be tempting for you. If your family isn't going with you in this whole program, then you'll have to put a shelf for them that you don't look at. I mean, find a cupboard where their snacks are and you just ignore it. But you have to make it easier on yourself and not have a fallback. All right, so those are some ideas. Some of you have real problems and physical problems, and I would like to refer you to another person, which I'll do in a minute. I do have, as an expert in skincare, the 3 foods that cause breakout. Some breakout is caused by other things, but if food is part of the problem, it's not chocolate. So hey, but it's not even sugar. But the first thing is dairy. So if you have a child, a teenager with breakout issues, or you yourself have them, I give people that work with me and really a choice to have a free test, and for 2 full weeks eliminate all dairy. We're talking milk, ice cream, yogurt, all dairy. Eliminate it all. Now this is a free test because you're not having anybody check it for you. And you can just see if you feel better, if your skin starts clearing up, and if it's worth it to you. And if it is worth it to you, then I would suggest you continue. The second food that is hard on breakout, and these are in the order of importance, is red meat. And the reason red meat is causes problems for your face is that you have a longer time. It takes a lot longer time to digest, up to 3 days. And your body will release toxins, and unfortunately or fortunately, some bodies release toxins in their face through breakout. So the skin is a breathing, alive piece of your body, and it is a place of it can't find the right words. It does push out toxins, and some people are more prone to that happening in their face. Also happens on the back and the chest. So red meat, if that's a problem for you, especially if you're having it on the back and the chest, I would eliminate red meat for 2 weeks, same thing. See what you see happening. if it naturally has a change or an improvement. The third thing that's really a surprise for a lot of people is carbonated drinks. And carbonated drinks cause your skin to kind of have a sugar film on the top, and that feeds the bacteria that's coming in. Now, the most common cause, if it's not from releasing debris and toxins in your skin for breakout, is these two guys, your hands touching your face. You got a little bump there, and oh gosh, it's still there. Oh my gosh, it's still there. It's getting bigger. And every time you touch it, you're putting bacteria from your hands on your face. So that's a tip for a lot of you. If you have it just around the mouth and then you're always touching your mouth, that's it. And there are some ways to determine what the problem for your skin is. Around the mouth is usually hormonal. It's part of the teenage situation. Out on the cheeks is generally digestion, and forehead is usually stress. So there's some tips on the skin. Now, I have a reference for you for a person who you could at least look at the website. His name is Dr. Glenn Depke, and his website is, let's see, I have it here on my notes, Depke. No, I'm sorry, his first name is Glenn. His website is Glenn at DepkeWellness.com, and Depke is D-E-P as in Paul, K-E. So Glenn at DepkeWellness.com. Now, Glenn's story is pretty amazing, and you can probably look it up on his website. But he had epilepsy show up in his late teens, and they didn't even know what it was when he was having grand mal seizures until he was 28. They didn't really diagnose it. He had some medication going on for that, for seizures, and they wanted to start him on another medication and cautioned him that his medication could cause brain damage. And he's thinking, epilepsy, that's already brain damage. I'm going to take something that could cause more brain damage. I don't think so. I do not want to discourage you from taking medicine that doctors feel is best for you. But he went into a great deal of study, became a naturopathic doctor because of this, and he healed his own epilepsy. And he is very good at working with people with all kinds of issues. He does not care what your diagnosis is. He just balances your body. And you can work from any distance because he works with over half of his patients on Skype. He can do a test through the mail with you and find out what the balance issues are in your body. And he balances them, and then usually your issues are gone. So I cannot overestimate the importance of this for someone with a serious illness. So I hope you'll go into this day, this week, however you're using these videos, with a desire to study your own health pattern, your eating patterns, and feel free to share ideas on Facebook that you find, and to email me or Facebook me with any questions you may have. So have a great day in this 5-day challenge. Eventually, I'm hoping that you will continue this and maybe do each challenge for a week and perhaps rotate them and really improve your lives. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for putting up with my technical learning that's going on right now. Love you all. Bye-bye.